Hello there. What's going on, everybody? We got some news about Marvel Crisis Protocol. I want to talk to you about that today because a lot of people have been asking me, are you going to cover Crisis Protocol? How are you going to be making more videos about Crisis Protocol? And the short answer to that is yes. I am hoping to cover this in a lot more detail. I'm hoping to get a course set. I've applied for a review copy. I'm hoping to get one early if I can so I can start getting it assembled and start putting some videos together for you guys. If not, then it'll be later. But I definitely plan on checking it out. It looks very, very cool. And we now have a release date of November 15th is when this is coming out. So that's very exciting. A couple of expansions are coming out also. Let me also remind you guys about the latest giveaway too. I'm giving away a $25 Amazon gift card. I'm going to be announcing the winner to that in a couple more days. All you have to do is be a subscriber. Let me know what your favorite unit looks to be for Crisis Protocol. I'm definitely wanting to hear more from you guys about what your thoughts are for this game. And an interesting thing about this is for most of the games that I cover, one of the things I always make is like a what to buy first when on a budget kind of video. And this looks to be the first game that I don't think you need to get anything outside of the core set when you're, if you're on a budget and getting into this game. And I think that's one of the things that's just so great about it. You have to bring 10 heroes, you're getting 10 heroes, and you're ready to start. You have a fully ready list to bring to a game right away. You don't need a single expansion to play. The expansions are simply to expand the game. If you want an all villain based list, maybe you'll buy some more villains. If you want an all, red, white, and blue kind of list, you can get, you can buy more characters. If you want an all space-faring list, you can do all of that. If you want a theme, if you want all characters that have green on them, then you can, buy more expansions for that. Speaking of green, there, in addition to the core set, it looks like Hulk and also MODOK are dropping November 15th as well. And there's a lot more expansions for this game. I'm going to put a link at the end to some of my Gen Con coverage of this game because I'm going to put a couple of links over there. So be sure and check out the Gen Con footage. A lot of early, I think I had the first look at this game as well as some great display case captures. A lot of the boards they had were amazing, and a lot of you guys have asked me about that as well. So speaking of boards, I want to talk a little bit about terrain because I, as a Legion player, I think there's a lot of crossover. Not everything is going to really work very well between all of these games. A lot of the built boards, you need a lot more terrain that's going to be throwable. And while this is going to come with a lot of cityscape type of terrain, cars and dumpsters and build, delis and gas station, that like inner city, fighting in the streets of New York effectively. While that will be very, very common, I think I'm going to try to make the best use, and since a lot of you guys are also Star Wars gamers, at least, a lot of my audience, because I cover a lot of Star Wars games, are probably wondering, hey, what can we do? So I do think there's a lot of crossover and a lot of terrain that can be reusable. So like one of the things is, your Tatooine type stuff, like those desert huts, doesn't feel quite as natural. You can still work because the games are in a very similar scale. They're very, very close to the same size. I think these are a little bit larger, but it's still, most of that terrain is going to be totally usable. But like a lot of like the space buildings, like stuff like this, right? Like that's going to totally work, especially if you decide you want to build like a Guardians of the Galaxy type of list for Crisis Protocol. I think that's going to fit very, very perfectly. And the way the MCU has been lately, there's a whole lot more stuff going on in space. And so I think it fits perfectly. A Captain Marvel would work really well for something like this as well. And a lot of your spacefaring heroes. Iron Man makes perfect sense for something like that as well. So if you're planning on, building some characters that are traditionally known for going to space and you want to build like a space battle board, perfect sense. Works out really, really well. So a lot of this type of stuff, and I think this is actually a Corvus Games. So Corvus Games has a lot of the space stuff. But I also am starting on a new set, and I want to show you guys this too. And this is maybe crossing over into Legion a little bit, but I'm working on some Naboo terrain. So this is kind of one of the buildings from like the Theed Palace kind of Naboo exterior. And I think this is going to work really well with Crisis Protocol 2, because this could work very well as Asgard terrain. I think there's a lot of crossover between Naboo and Asgard. And you know what the common thread is? It's Natalie Portman. Folks, it's Natalie Portman, the common thread. So we're going to have to, because she went to Asgard with Thor, and she's going back to be Lady Thor, but she's also the queen of Naboo. I mean, it's perfect. Is that not perfect? One of the cool things is this is from Imperial terrain. These have these little staircases, which make perfect throwable terrain. So, like, there's a little staircase in front here, and people can throw. And I'm not done with this yet, and there's a lot more. This is a work in progress, but once it's finished, I'll probably do a video talking more about the Naboo terrain as well, because Clone Wars is coming out soon for Legion. And so the good thing about this being in November is you get a good month after Clone Wars comes out for Legion, and then we'll have a whole new game to look at. So it's good news for me. It's bad news for my wallet, but it's good news for at least having cool new games and a lot of cool stuff to talk about. So yeah, that's basically what's coming. Marvel Crisis Protocol coming November 15th. And you're probably thinking, why are you talking for over 5 minutes about this? All it is a release date. Well, I understand that, but I hadn't made a video about Crisis Protocol, so I wanted to just jam a couple of other things in there because I hadn't talked about it in about a month or two. And I had a lot of people asking me about it. So much is coming. Let me know also in the comments what type of videos you want me to make about Crisis Protocol. Beyond, probably unboxings, probably some battle reports, probably a tutorial how to play for anybody who... But let me know what else you're looking for, or even if it's those 3 things I just mentioned. I would love to hear more from you guys. Let me know what you think, and, lots more news for Crisis Protocol coming before the end of the year. Once we get that course set out and we can start seeing the release schedule, it's going to be exciting because there's a lot of stuff planned. And don't forget to check these videos out here at the end. I'm going to put the links right over on the other side. And that's about it. I want to thank my patrons on Patreon. You guys are amazing, and thank you for continuing to make this channel a possibility. And Atomic Mass Games, if you're watching, let's set up an interview or hook me up with that course set early so I can start making some more content. All right, guys, I will talk to you later. I want to thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.